Hello and welcome to Scrolling with Ceazor. Today is August 14th, 2026. Okay, as always, I've got a lot of news and things to talk about today. Not as much as in the past. I'm still very, very busy. I got a lot of stuff to do. I just moved, as I mentioned, and there's still a lot of little things I need to, get done, appointments and stuff like that. So this is going to be a quick one. I don't have an insane amount of stuff, but as time progresses, I'll get back into being a little bit more research and spending more than like an hour scrolling and finding good stuff, curating good news for you. Okay, taking a quick look at the charts today. So we've got red all along pretty much everywhere except for the scan disk and Wi-Fi here. Wi-Fi is looking pretty good for another entry position for me. I'll consider that in a sec. But so we've got red across the board, but everything's looking all right, I guess. Nothing's crazy down. Nothing's terrible. No terrible bad news. How's hype looking? Pretty good. So yeah, how are my charts on my stonks on Ramses here? Yeah, I want volume here as much as possible because I'm providing liquidity that is based on trading fees. So I want as much trading volume and crab as possible on these guys. But yeah, it is what it is. So yeah, so anyhow, that's that. Let's get into the tweets that I've selected for today. I don't have too many. I've got about 9 of them, so it shouldn't be a long episode today. Okay, so here we have an article by Joe Waite. I don't know who this person is, but for the fun of it, I will follow him. He works research for Ember Protocol, whoever that is. So he's got this article here where he deep dives into Frax finance, and some of the things he's talking about in here is like the curve, Llama Land, the resupply, so you can loop it up to get like some sweet double-digit APRs on stable coins. And then he talks down in the end somewhere, where is it? Talks about this tranching that Royco protocol is making. So yeah, it's a pretty good article. You can kind of read through this and get a deep dive understanding of the stuff he's talking about there. Okay, moving on. Here we have Julian. I'm not even going to say it, so I'm sorry, dude. I'm going to try your name. He's talking about this EIP that's still going around. Most people are against it in the public sector, but the core devs just think it's a good idea, but they're not defending it very well, okay? They're not giving actual logical reasons. They're just kind of, whitewashing their reasons across a broad span of things. So let's take a look what Julian says here. I think he does it pretty well. I'm going to just read his words verbatim. Hey people, this is getting out of hand. I have a kind of request to Ethereum core devs. Guys, I do appreciate work. You have tons of legitimacy and a lot of love for the Ethereum community, but please, instead of fighting a war you cannot win, do your best, do what you're best at. Use your brains to either make a point that this EIP is going to work. I still have not seen convincing arguments that it will not make things worse, or propose alternative solutions. The problem is not issuance. The problem is concentration under economies of scale. You have to address this specific problem and convince people this is going to work. Yeah, I agree with everything he's saying here. He's being very logical and very diplomatic and straightforward in this sentence, and I agree with Julian here. Okay, next one here we have Flying Tulip. They have raised their caps yet again. So yeah, you can go there. You can do all kinds of stuff. So let's read what it says here. To support growth, we increase the WS Borrow and STS supply caps on Sonic, WETH Borrow caps on Ethereum, interest rate models for ETH, USDC, FUSD were optimized to reduce borrowing costs. So yeah, current lend USDC deposit APYs is 3 on Ethereum and 7 on Sonic. That's if you're lending to people, not minting FUSD or FTUSD. Okay, so check it out. There's more information to be had. Just dig a little bit deeper and you can consider that if you want. Okay, I saw this today. Alchemix, it's an OG protocol. I really like it. I'm not using it right now. I've kind of migrated to some other safer things right now, and I don't have time to really dig into this and see if I want to use it. So I do have a few small positions on it, but not many major stuff. But they've dropped a YouTube channel where they're like basically all the explainers are there. You can go to their YouTube channel and go through each little video explainer, and it'll explain every little thing, so you don't even have to watch my video anymore. Moving on. So Sonic, this guy Johan, I've talked to this guy a lot. I like this guy. He's smart as well as honest and a good man. He did a podcast recently, and on that podcast he says, and I repeat, I think RWAs are definitely here to stay, and at Sonic our goal is a bit different because we're not issuers, we're infrastructure. So our first goal is essentially being ready to develop the infra to embrace the scale of RWAs. I ran out. RWAs on Sonic, whether it is an asynchronous redemption or building a new vault standards to hold and deploy RWAs, helping people make safer lending markets. I think I like Silo's model for RWA lending markets. And the second thing we're focusing on doing, he's talking about RWAs and how Sonic is trying to encourage people to bring their RWAs to Sonic blockchain. Okay, so Cointelegraph tweeted this. This is probably a better focus for the core devs. But so Ethereum Foundation researcher Justin Drake announces ETH Foundation is dropping Poseidon in favor of SHA or Blake hashes. He calls it a milestone for post-quantum security on Ethereum. Yeah, so I'm going to need to know what these are. I don't know. I'm not a core dev researcher. I don't look deeply at this. I kind of more like, trust me, bro, these guys. I would like to know what this is. So this is something I want to tweet, but it's definitely significant news for anybody who's listening and looking for something to research deeper. But he does say it's better for post-quantum security, so I don't know. I'll have to understand what this means. You can read through the threads, or you can just do the Google, the Grokky, and let him help you understand it. Moving on. So here I have Liquidity. Liquidity shares a guide here. You can click on the guide. You can go through the guide, and you can run a front end for Liquidity locally on your computer. And it says all you need is this. It takes 15 minutes. It's free, and it's doable by anyone. So yeah, like this is the type of stuff that we want. We don't want to have to depend on other people's websites and other people's hosting. We should be able to do it ourselves, but there is some things in here. I believe this subgraph API key might cost you money, but yeah, so you can go through this and you can run the front end locally on your own PC or Mac or whatever it is you use, and then you don't need to depend on anything. Okay, moving on. So here we have Lido's. Lido's got these buybacks, okay, and I want to kind of go through them quickly with you. So Nest is a rule-based Lido buyback mechanism. So LDO, the buyback, the Lido tokens, okay? When the DAO's share of staking revenue runs above a revenue baseline, the bounded share of the surplus accrues into the running Nest balance. While the balance is positive, Nest automatically buys Lido daily via cow swap. So yeah. So first they pay their dividends, and then they automatically send the rest to this contract. This smart contract accumulates money, and then that money uses CowSwap to buy Lido tokens. Now, I don't know where those Lido tokens are going, but yeah, buying back is good. But you see, it's automatic. It's not the devs going and fat fingering like a huge clip of money on some multisig. Pretty cool. Last tweet I have today for you is FlexMeow. I really like this protocol. It's fun to use. I've got loops in here, and now I'm considering doing some more loops because they now have support for YSY bold versus USDC. Now, be careful if you're going to loop this up or borrow this or do this, because you are going to be doing swaps. So USDC into Bold and then Bold deposited. So you have to make sure that let's just use Dex Screener to see if Bold is sitting at any Bold on USDC. So there are times when Bold is up a little bit on peg because of demand, but it's pretty stable. But yeah, so be careful. Don't loop this when Bold is almost worth 1 cent, right? Then you're gonna lose money, maybe. When you loop it up, you're gonna get shit tons of APR. So that might be. You might not have to worry about it, but you might have to do some math, or at least get AI to do the math for you. But yeah, that's there. That USDC is there for the borrowing. Okay, so that's it for today. Thank you for listening. I hope this has been useful and interesting, and goodbye.